Here's a funny paradox. Humans hate being controlled until Netflix, Instagram, and billionaires do it. Suddenly, we clap like trained seals. The scary part? Most of us don't even realize we're in a circus. Let's talk about how we are being controlled, and why, disturbingly, we often seem to enjoy it.
Welcome to the Grey Room.
Humans created wealth systems to facilitate trade, but somewhere along the line it became less about helping society. Wealth became a dividing line, not a tool. According to Oxfam 2024, the richest 1% now own more than nearly everyone else combined. Imagine if the Earth was a pizza. 1% of people eat the whole pie while the rest of us argue about the crust. Why does this keep happening? Because humans have a built-in craving for superiority. We evolved to compete for status, mates, resources. That biological instinct is useful in small bands, but in a globalized, monetized society, it becomes a virus. Social media turns that ancient impulse into a scoreboard. Followers, likes, verified badges. Suddenly your value is a number. Not surprisingly, studies show constant social comparison increases anxiety and depression. The media doesn't just report reality, it shapes it. Stories, images, songs, and movies don't merely entertain, they normalize. Take something small and seemingly harmless. Romanticize scenes like making a wish on a shooting star. In some traditions, this is superstition. In other, it is seen as inviting harmful influences. Normalization is subtle and is done through trends and memes. Look at villain worship. Some years ago, heroes dominated pop culture. Now, viewers are rewriting sympathies. The villain is often the most charismatic character. Shows and movies reframe the bad guy as misunderstood or complex, which is fine artistically. But the cultural effect is strange. A rising sympathy for those who break moral codes. The cultural message shifts. If you're broken enough, you're interesting. If you're ignored by society, you deserve sympathy. Even if your actions hurt others. That's a dangerous moral blur. And when we blur the boundary between right and wrong, profit follows. Controversy and moral ambiguity sell. Provocation is engagement. Engagement is data. Data is money. When the elites decide what stories to push, the incentives become clear. Normalize behavior that increases attention, then monetize the attention. The result is a culture that favors sensationalism over moral clarity. These dynamics show up on the global stage too. Look at how outrage and sympathy are distributed. The world watched the invasion of Ukraine and mobilized enormous aid and support. As per the UN, Western countries sent $170+ billion to Ukraine since 2022, while humanitarian aid for Palestinians has been chronically underfunded. Why the difference? Power dynamics, geopolitics, and yes, profit and influence. Moral judgments are curated. When one story fits the interests of powerful actors, it's amplified. When another doesn't, it's muted. That selective humanity is a feature, not a bug. If today's generation struggles to tell truth from spin, imagine what the media landscape will look like by 3 decades or so. With AI-generated content, deepfakes, and personalized propaganda, the next generations may never learn to trust anything outside their curated feed. If belief gets reduced to only what you see, the unseen concept of God could be rejected entirely. We risk creating a civilization that only believes in measurable signals, not in moral or spiritual realities. So why do the elites push this? Simply put, profit and control. Break down shared traditions, erode communal structures, and replace meaning with consumable experiences. When people become atomized and lonely, industries sell substitutes. apps, influencers, subscription packages for happiness. The more isolated we are, the more we consume. The more we consume, the more the elites profit. It's a feedback loop dressed up as progress. I'm not pretending I'm above this system. I live inside it as much as anyone else. But living inside a problem doesn't mean we can't study it. Conversation helps. Learning helps. Revisiting the intellectual and spiritual wisdom of the past helps. Our ancestors handed down frameworks for ethics, morality, and community that remain useful. If you want to understand the present, study the past. There are answers there that advertising algorithms won't recommend to you. So what can we do? First, cultivate awareness. Second, build communities of discussion, not consumption. Third, revive moral literacy. Debate ideas, study ethics, and practice humility. And finally, preserve the unseen. The elites don't need to lock you in a literal cage. They just need to convince you that the cage is a playground. If there is a way out, it begins with the small, stubborn act of refusing to treat every feeling as a product and every story as inevitable. Wake up before it's too late. See you in the next video.